Good afternoon, Eamonn here from Turkey, where he's spending a week's holidays over here. A question that's often asked of me, does farmers do this? I'm going to give you a background of my holidays. I was 18 before I went on my first holiday. When we were being reared at home on our farm, our parents or none of us ever went on holidays. We probably at that stage could not afford it, and holidays was quite expensive, and it was something reserved probably for the well off. And the only holidays that people would have would the city kids would come down to the country and spend a couple of weeks down with their cousins down in the country. Or the girls would go to their cousins and maybe spend a week in that, and that could be in Mullingar, Navan, or wherever the other aunties was living. The first one I went to was to Tralee, the Rose Tralee with my brother when I was 18 years of age. And the next holiday for me was my honeymoon, 7 or 8 years later. But when we got married, we decided that we would go on holidays every year. And when the children was born, we would pack them into the car and head off to someplace in Ireland to a self-catering house and spend the most happy and enjoyable week and go and visit all the sites. And everybody learned, and you came back, learned something from it, whether it was geography or a bit of history of Ireland, and met up with different people and broadened your mind somewhat. And then in more recent years we started travelling outside the country to somewhat more exotic places. But that time, as we had a good man called John Bray that would come in, and he worked for Farm Relief Service at the time, and he would come in and take over the farm and do all the milking and look after the livestock. We would always pick a time of year that wasn't that busy on the farm, that all that had to be done was the milking and herding and taking care of the livestock. The silage would have been done, and all the main jobs would have been done at that stage. So it was easier to get somebody to come in to look after the cows and milk them and look after the stock. We were very lucky, and that service was set up in the 70s so that farmers could go on holidays. Because before that, even if they could afford it, it was very hard to get somebody to come in to take over the farm. This was a service called Farm Relief Service, and it employed good young men and women well skilled up in all types of farming. That would be dairy, beef, cereals, or sheep, or whatever type our machinery operated. But you always had probably a bit of a backup, where that in the early years my parents were still quite healthy and they were there to back them up. And I had my brothers living nearby, and I had a brother-in-law as well who ran a dairy herd as well, so he was his backup as well. So you could go off and enjoy your week's holidays and feel quite confident that your farm was going to be as well looked after as if you were there. But now, personally myself, it's different because I've Kenneth at home, and I can head off for a week to Turkey or wherever, and I know the farm. And as I'm being semi-retired, the farm is going to be very well looked after. Or even before I retired, I could go away, and Kenneth would look after it. And likewise, Kenneth and Cheryl is heading to Canada in September. So I know that I'll be there to look after the farm for them, and they can go with no worries. And I know everything that has to be done and well able to do it. But you pick your times of the year when it's off the busy periods. You don't go when you are calving a pile of cows, or when you're breeding them, or cutting your silage, or various different other events that happens that needs plenty of manpower around the place. You plan it, scheme it, and action it to a time that suits you. And it means then that everybody can enjoy a nice week's or 2 weeks holidays and come back refreshed and vigorous and being boosted again to carry on the work for the next period of time. Everybody needs a break. Your body needs a break. Your mind needs a break. And it's good for mind and body. And it's good to travel to different parts of the world and different parts of Ireland and meet different people and visit and learn how the other people maybe live for a short period of time. And the saying is, let your hair down, enjoy nice food, enjoy a bit of wine. If you drink wine, or enjoy a nice walk. This morning I was up, went for a lovely walk along the sea. There's a lovely path along the whole seafront. I went for an hour of a walk, and I felt so good, and it was so beautiful to be out in this lovely, lovely sunshine, and early in the morning, and taking in all the atmosphere around. Last night I had a lovely meal in the restaurant there, and enjoyed a couple of glasses of wine, and enjoyed talk and meeting people and chatting and talking to them. I believe that's what holidays is about. Whether you're a farmer, a mechanic, a dentist, a nurse, a shopkeeper, or whoever you are, you need a break. And I think the money you spend on a holiday is not a waste of money. It's an investment in your health and well-being. And it's very important to look after our health and well-being. Eamonn here from beautiful sunny Turkey, signing off. Thank you.